Hello and welcome back to Foos Entertainment. This time for my next Marvel Cinematic Universe review, that being 2011's Thor. I want to say I'm not a big fan of this artwork. I actually prefer the original artwork. Especially hate the sleeve. Biggest problem with the sleeve is all the new artwork and all the new releases of these movies all have exactly the same sleeve, and it's quite annoying. But we're not here to rant about, the sleeve and design of a Blu-ray snap case. So Thor. Originally, I owned this movie in the limited edition 3D version. It's one of the few films that was stolen. You all know that story. Don't need to go into it. Now let's go into the synopsis and plot of the movie and try to be as simple as possible. So I'll talk about other things about the movie. Simplest way to put the plot of the movie. Thor is the son of the king of what's known as the Asgardians. Godlike cosmic beings. And Asgard pretty much is the protector of all other realms, as they call them. Planetary systems is what we would call them. And so yeah, he's kind of looked at as a god from man once upon a time on Earth, but he's actually an alien in a modern sense, but a godlike alien. There was a war between the Asgardians and the Ice Giants. Very dark, malignant beings that have the ability to pretty much kill people with wielding ice is an elemental weapon. I think the simplest way to put it. And Thor is one of two brothers. One of two sons of Odin. Loki being the other one. Upon discovering that he is actually not Asgardian, but he's actually an ice giant, Loki pretty much commits treason against the Asgardians by letting the ice giants into the kingdom. And before Thor is crowned the new king of Asgard, is interrupted by the ice giants. And Thor wants to do something about it because he's a warrior. He's more like, kill first, ask questions later type. And so he, amateurly, not really amateurly, just recklessly, decides to go to the Ice Giant's home world and call him out for, invading Asgard's turf and disturbing the peace. Odin don't like this, so he takes away from Thor his power, turns him into a mortal, and vanishes him to Earth, and sends Thor's hammer after him, in hopes that Thor will grow up and be more noble and much more mature, and think more with wisdom instead of with power. And something that people don't really know about these movies is when Thor originally wielded Thor's hammer, it did not require him to be worthy of holding it. That came after he was vanished to Earth. On Earth, he, when, shot through the portal to Earth, is hit by a vehicle by a scientist, played by Natalie Portman, I also might add Odin's played by Anthony Hopkins. Tim Hiddleston, this guy who plays Loki. Chris Hemsworth, the individual who plays Thor. Lots of other cast members in here that I really like. One of them being interesting, being wow, that's interesting. Oh, Ray Stevenson. Ray Stevenson is part of the supporting cast. See him from Punisher Warzone and the Transporter Refueled. Well, moving on. He learns about Earth a little bit through the character Natalie Portman. They first think he's crazy, but then they figure out that he actually came out of the anomaly they saw in the storm, which is a wormhole portal. And they break him out and try to figure out what all that is and where he comes from. After telling Natalie Portman's character the story, he goes out for a quest to retrieve his hammer, where he finds out that he cannot wield it because he's not worthy. He has to learn to be worthy and mature and have some wisdom before he can even pick the hammer up. Meanwhile, his friends, one of them being Ray Stevenson, the other ones being actors I did not know of, and of course the Gatekeeper, played by Idris Elba, don't approve what Loki's doing. Getting ready to do all-out war. So they go to Earth recklessly, being forbidden by Loki. I also might add that at this point, the Heart ship had pushed Odin into a comatose state, leaving the kingdom to be ran by Loki, who obviously is the villain. So they go to Earth to try to retrieve Thor. When Loki discovers this, Loki sends this big, I say robot is what it is, but Odin designed this robot called the Destroyer. It can literally destroy worlds and shit. So they send the Destroyer after them, and with the specific instructions to destroy Earth. Well, Thor makes a deal with Loki through the machine, for a robot, the Destroyer. Leave these people alone. You can kill me if you need to, but leave everybody else alone. And Loki says the command to pretty much do exactly that. So Thor does actually die. People don't really realize that, but he actually does die when he gets hit by that thing. And because of his noble sacrifice, he is now worthy of wielding Thor's hammer. So the hammer flies out of captivity right to him and brings him back to life. And he takes out the Destroyer. He also kind of falls in love with Natalie Portman's character. They share a little moment, and he says, I will be coming back to you. Which, unfortunately, he does not have that ability, because he goes back to Asgard to battle it out with Loki and to save his father. And the only way he could have victory, be victorious and have victory, is he actually had to destroy the portal to do it. And Odin finally regains consciousness at that point in time and tries to save both Thor and Loki. Loki, in disgrace, commits suicide, basically. And the movie ends with Thor mourning Loki's death and missing Natalie Portman's character, but also telling his father that I have much to learn, and showing his father absolute respect. And that's pretty much the plot of the movie. Audio and video quality. Very digital looking, I would say. Still having very much warm and neutral color temperatures with very little use of cool color temperatures. But this one has sort of a glossy finish to it. That might be a byproduct of all of the metal aprons that our characters wear in the movies, and wear in this movie and stuff. But overall, very good picture quality, if you ask me. Kind of has like a warm golden type of look to it, though. I could say that. Audio quality. Lots of good use of audio in this movie. This is the reason why I had to buy this movie in Thor: Dark World, and pretty soon and quickly I will be buying that or two, Black Panther and Thor: Ragnarok, which are two films I don't have in this cinematic universe. There's a reason why, people, because the 7.1 DTS HD Master Audio outweighs Dolby Digital. So it definitely shows in this movie. There's a lot of very good directional sound, a lot of dramatic effects. I mean, it's definitely an experience. I definitely enjoyed it. And I have nothing bad to say about the quality of the movie. Do I still consider this movie boring? I do not. Not anymore. Like I said, I did before. Now let's talk about the 3D real quick, because I remember the 3D, and that's right here. I cannot defend. This is really how it is. The 3D in Thor is much like the 3D on those 3D phones they had for a while a few years back, to where it's almost like a bubble effect, sort of effect over background effect type of look in 3D, which means that it really shouldn't even be in 3D, because there's no real point to have it in 3D, because there's nothing that's really 3D about it. So the 3D was always very disappointing in this movie, so it doesn't hurt me at all that I don't have this movie in 3D. Not one bit. I would say I was very surprised to actually find myself liking this movie, because I always remembered never liking this one. I thought that out of all the films, this was the most boring, the most pointless one in the entire cinematic universe of the Marvel movies. I have since now changed my mind. It's actually quite impressive, quite good. I had no problems with the movie at all. Well, that's pretty much my views on 2011's Thor. Something I haven't done in a while, so I guess I will do it this way. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Like this video? Do you not like this video? As always, comment below if you would love to do so. Give me a like or a dislike. Crap, even put a rant down below. but don't attack me in a rant, because I did actually have to, on one of my Karaoke videos, delete the rant that somebody did in the comment because they were attacking me. So be a little respectful about that. That's something I just wanted to point out there. But of course, that's probably the only threatful comment anyone's ever given me on this channel. Not doing this for 5 years. Reviewing movies, no, but reading this channel, yes. But as I point that out, I'm just doing this to entertain people, and to put my opinion out there, because I get tired of people feeling like they're part of some sort of entity and think they have to agree with the status quo. Well, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a status quo, and you shouldn't go with the flow. You should have your own opinion, and that's kind of what I do. Well, I'll see you guys next time for my review of I think it's 2012. It might be 2011, but I'm pretty sure it's 2012. The Avengers. And until then, I will see you guys next time. Bye.